one before everyone got here. How long did it take me? About 3 minutes. And this is what it's going to look like when the process is over. It's just like that. Once you're done with the process, it looks like that. So basically, then what I do, I always leave when I tie myself, I always leave them a little bit long. Then whenever, during the day or whatever, if I pull it out of my bag and I want to run it shorter, I can cut it shorter. But you can't add more to it. So what I like is if I'm using like a big trailer, like a Magnum Chicken Pro or something like that, or maybe even this guy, when you're using a big trailer, I like it a little bit longer. You know, so when it's out there, that'd be about the perfect skirt length. I like it to come down to the legs. But if I'm using a smaller trailer, I'll trim it back. So just the legs are showing. So you kind of want to cover that thing up. It's super simple. It saves you a lot of money. I do it with all my spinnerbaits. It saves a lot of money in spinnerbait skirts. I don't like making spinnerbait skirts. So that's the first thing. I don't mind them making jigs and stuff like that, but spinnerbait skirts just get me. Every time I've ever made one, put on a spinnerbait, it doesn't look right. So that's how I save a lot of money. So that's the flipping jig. You guys have any more questions about just the jig itself going into this? Any questions about timing or anything like that? Any colors? The next one I'm going to talk about is swim jigs. A lot of guys here throw swim jigs. Throw a lot of swim jigs. Yeah, it's just an absolute killer technique, and it's about the easiest, easiest thing that you've ever done in your life. Because all you do is just throw it out there and reel it back in. Now there's different swim jigs out there too, just like there's different flipping and casting jigs. There's ones with giant hooks on them, ones with bigger weed guards, and then you got finesse versions of them. You know, and then you ask yourself which one's better for me? Well, the bigger ones with the bigger hook, to me, that's for pulling fish out of cover. If you're throwing like super heavy coming and really need to pinch them out. To me, I like the light wire ones. So what I'm going to be doing with the swim jig is throwing into more open water, sparser cover, maybe flats and different things like that. Now the thing you got to think about the weed guard and everything, how all this makes sense, the whole contraption makes sense. With the swim jig, the best thing about the swim jig, why the fishing the swim jig, is that secondary action. So no matter what trailer you put on the back of that jig, that trailer needs to impart action to that jig. So say if it's a single tail grub, say it's a 5-inch single tail Yamamoto grub. If that jig's not quivering from that tail moving, you've got too heavy of a weed guard or too heavy of a hook. Your jig should be shaking. That skirt should be moving from the vibration of that tail of that grub. But with the bigger hooks, the bigger weed guards, if you're going to use a jig like that, you have to have a bigger trailer that has more thump to it. So a lot, like these jigs alone, these jigs were made for swim baits. That's what this jig's made for. That's why it has such a big hook. Because it's a big swim bait, kicks out a lot more, makes that jig roll, makes that skirt shimmy. And then the lighter wire ones, this used to be a rage crawl on the back of it and stuff ain't it. But it has a lot lighter hook. As you can tell, I trimmed some of the skirt back, the weed guard back. Because what happens with that weed guard, it acts as a ballast. When it's going through the water, it's got water resistance on both sides, right? The more you cut out, the more that jig's gonna impart a little bit more action, so it doesn't have that resistance on that weed guard. So that's when I start trimming it back, and I just keep tooling with it until my jig has the right action. It's so crazy. You pick up a new swim jig out of a bag, you'll throw it on, put your favorite trailer on it, it's not acting right. Like, what's going on here? You know, it should be rocking. A lot of guys don't see that. And you say, oh, the trailer looks great swimming. You know, it's going to catch a fish. But you need that secondary action, not just the trailer action. You need skirt action and everything else like that. So when that happens, like, something's not right. So I start trimming the weed guard up, start doing that. The other thing is when you have a bigger hook, you know, this is only like a 3-aught hook. You have a bigger hook, same thing. Access the ballast, a little bit more weight, it doesn't give the jig the right action. So that's why I use a little bit lighter jig. With swim jigs, I can get a little bit crazier with colors on my swim jigs. Just like I have a jig, a flipping jig, casting jig bag, I have a swim jig bag too. I use these a lot. Well, this one right here, this jig caught 20 pounds, and then I retired it because it was at Sammamish. We had to pitch the barbs off. It caught like 22 pounds on this jig right here. Notice it doesn't have any barb on it. Because it's hardless from like, I can't remember from one reason or another, so I had to use this hardless. But as you can see, I have all these different swim jigs in here. I get a little bit crazier with the colors on this, because I think with my swim jigs, I think it's more of a look at it from a distance, catch your eye and get it to come in. So I go a little bit more brilliant with the colors. The brown ones, I use some with chartreuse in it. I want to look like a sunfish swimming in the water. So then I'll use more of a sunfish looking color with some blue and some orange in it. And then there's a yellow one that's getting passed around right now. It's kind of looks like a pale perch, like a perch color. So I want it to look like a yellow perch or something like that. If you're fishing, the only time I really use a white swim jig anymore, I used to use those all the time. I used to use, actually here's the first jig I ever used for a swim jig. Let's see if there's a date on this. But it's a baby blue jig. I didn't know what a swim jig was, but what we do is we take these and put single-tailed, 5-inch single-tailed white ground on that one, so we can go large amount. And this was probably 2004 or something like that. This jig's really old, and I have it in here. I'll probably never use it, but it's one of the first swim jigs I ever used, just white. But there's all kinds of good swim jigs out there. The jigs I use most are Varney. They're made by Varney. They're just a little jig tying company. They have everything that I like about them. They have a lot of different colors. So that's what I use. Then the other two weights I use, I only fish a couple different weights. I fish 3/8 ounce for anything deeper that's deeper than 6 feet deep, 5, 6 feet deep. That's when I start using 3/8 ounce. Fish anything shallower, I just use a 1/4 ounce. I have the brown ones. The brown one I was passing around, the brown swim jig, I use that one a lot. That's one of my favorite ones. The perch is the second favorite. But this isn't just a largemouth technique. I catch a lot of big smallmouth on it as well. It's pretty amazing once you start throwing it. You cover a little bit of water with it. I also tie a few of these, but I don't necessarily like tying my jigs. I just don't. But like I said, I'm a weirdo and I like stuff my way. So it's hard to find somebody that does it how I want it. So I end up making a lot of money. Like Varney, that's one guy that gets a lot of money for their swim jigs. I'll buy 100 of them. There's everything I want. Yes.
What's this trailer?
That's a easy. What's it called? So here's I haven't gone over trailers yet. These are two back to the trailers.
Sorry to sidetrack.
Yeah, no problem. I can't remember what it's called. It's an easy swimmer. Gambler easy swimmer. They come in all different colors. It's just a big, looks like a package like this. That's the other thing with these trailers, with swim jig trailers, you can use just about anything like wiggles and stuff like that. Swim bait, grub. There's different times of the year that different trailers can work better.
What's your line preference?
What's that?
What's your line preference size?
For swim jigs? I use anywhere from, it depends on how I'm fishing the jig. If I'm fishing it fast, if I'm fishing it faster, I use 15. If I'm fishing it slower and want that thing to get deeper, I'll use 12. And I use mono. I don't use fluorocarbon on them. I don't think there's a big benefit of using fluorocarbon on So yeah, I use maxima, 12 pound and 15 pound maxima. Haven't had a problem. So that's kind of the two jigs I use. Now we'll start getting into what makes these jigs tick and the different trailers that I use. With my flipping jigs, I think the trailer has a lot more to do with it or bites than just the jig, the shape of the jig. The reason we choose the shape is efficiency. As you know, fishing is all about efficiency. The more cast You don't want to cast it to brush every time you get hung up every 6 casts. That's hanging up way too much. Even though it comes out sometimes, so it's coming out all the time. So you pick the right jig so you're not hung up every cast, so that you know your bait's working and it's not getting hung up and you're going in there and shaking the jig off a tree or whatever you're hung up on. So you pick the right jig to fish and fish with. So now we're going to go to trailers. This can make, to me, I've had days where you one trailer switch and it's over. It's like lights just turned on. You go from catching 1 fish an hour to catching 15 fish an hour. And there's differences, you know. The mainstay is like the Berkeley Power Cherry Craw. Everyone probably fishes those. And I think a lot of guys, they find something that works and they just stick with it. They stick with it. They stick with it. And I don't like doing that. If I'm not getting bit, if you're getting bit constantly, like bam, 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 keep on catching them, like every place you throw into, you keep on catching, you're obviously right. But if it slows down, I start changing trailers. Like this isn't even all. This is what I carry in my boat for jig trailers. It's big because I think it makes that big of a difference. Now it can be anything from, you know, a chigger craw. You know, a chigger craw. It's crazy with a chigger craw. It's not a pocket craw, right? You guys ever notice the difference between a chigger craw and a pocket craw if you throw it on the back? A chigger craw doesn't have the real good flapping action. That a chigger craw kind of is outlandish and it flaps really, really hard. Where a chigger craw doesn't. It doesn't flap unless you shake it or you swim it back to you real quick. So it has a little bit different action. I like it because of the scent as well. And I'll use anything from just the regular or the jumbo. The jumbos catch me a lot of fish. So that's one action. It's the flapping action or a subtle action. The next thing is kind of like a beaver, you know, beaver style baits, like International Innovation Sweet Beaver, or the newest version of the beaver is this missile bait. Still has the wide platform. And what this does to your jig, say you're throwing a 1/2 ounce jig or a 3/8 ounce jig, what this does to your jig is a lot different than what a chigger craw or a skinny body baits can do. What this thing does is that it has a large, as you can tell, it's a large planing surface, correct? So what that's going to do, it's going to make your bait glide when it's falling. Let's face it, most of our bites come when your bait's falling. So since you have thread that on your jig, it's going to have more of a gliding action, especially the lighter jig you go, because that's going to catch water. When your skirt floats up, that's going to catch water and move your jig in different directions compared to something that's skinnier, like the chigger craw or the pocket craw. It's a really good thing. The other thing is, like, I got rid of all my Action Innovation beavers for these guys. I just think they work a little bit better because the beaver, I like how it glides through the water, but the problem is when you shake it, you know, the two little tails on the back, they're so stiff they don't do anything. You know, it just looks like, I don't know, a couple pieces of little chunks of wood on the back of it. It doesn't really do anything. Whereas these are a lot thinner and they move a lot more when you're shaking your bait on the bottom. They do a lot of this and a lot of that. The other thing is, since it's ribbed, see how deep the ribs are? There's not as much plastic in them a little bit. So since there's not as much plastic, the hook set's a lot more positive when you get them. So there's that. Then we gotta get into like a little bit more crazy trailers. You know, you can use anything like, you know, I got double-tailed grubs here. It's the old mainstay of the jig. So you have to have those in there. But they're real subtle. You know, with the double-tailed grub, it doesn't put out a lot of thump. It just kind of wiggles its way down. Doesn't do too much. Let's see what else is there. You know, I was talking about the pocket craw. You know, still got the flapping craws, the flappers on, just like say a chigger craw. Chigger craw has the same kind of big pictures, but two totally different actions when your jig's falling. You got to think what your jig looks like when it's falling. This thing will sit there, a pocket craw will sit there and just flap like that all the way down to the bottom. Whereas this doesn't really do that. It kind of does real subtle waves all the way to the bottom. So it's a totally different action between the two. Now the next crawdad bait is a couple of my favorites. And it's this big guy right here. It's a super think they call it a super speed craw, super magnum speed craw. And as you can see, they have cut tails. See how those cut tails are? And they're big. It kind of looks like a ponytail legs, you know, but way bigger. And what that's going to do is it catches water. And when this thing sinks, I mean, it puts out so much action. It looks like a helicopter thing going around and around. I mean, it's wiggling hard all the way down to the bottom. And for some reason that works really well for me. Prime example, we had a tournament on popples. Jigs are money at popples. And I usually have a couple of jig rods tied up, and we were just using jigger rods, and we were using there's a Yamamoto flapping hog, knows what the flapping hogs are. And that's normally kind of like rule number one, you use that. And then I had another jig tied up with one of these. And I went to the first area, and there was fish in there. You fish the whole thing nice and neat, no bites. Go to the second area, there's two guys on our boat, we're both fishing. And I go, you know what, I should have got bit at the last spot. I grabbed the one with this thing on it, and it's like, I'm fishing behind the guy, throw it out there right in the same bush that he got bit in, or he didn't get bit in. I throw it in the bush that he just pulled out of, boom, fish, 4-pounder. He's still flipping ahead of me, boom. I think I was up on him like 8-1, and then finally he switched. You know, and it gets really that way. And I had the same thing happen with the D-ball. Same exact thing, where you weren't getting bit. I wasn't getting bit on this. I wasn't getting bit on all the other trailers. And I switched over to a D-ball, and it's like the lights turned on. You know, like that first spot we fished. As soon as we fished the other spots, it was close. We sit back over there and caught 5 more fish. At least I did. It only took him half a day to figure it out. You know, I'm trying. Here, pull these up. No, you know, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's like, what pound line are you using? I'm using the same damn line you are. Remember, I let you have the line last time. Spool up, you never spool up. But yeah, it makes a big difference with your jig trailers. If you're out there and you think you should be getting bit, switch them up. The other thing is rates of fall on your jigs. You know, you gotta really pay attention to your rate of fall. I can have a 3/4 ounce jig that can fall the same rate as a 1/2 ounce jig. So you can't just go by your jig's rate or your jig's weight. Because the thing of it is if I go get, you know, a strike king, let's say we just go get a general strike king flipping jig, right? We'll get it in a 3/8 ounce. How many strands are in that jig? How many strands of silicone are in that jig? Maybe 36 or something like that. You know, we'll get a 1/2 ounce jig. Well, I can, you know, as you can see, look how much bigger. If I've got a strike king jig, doesn't look like that. No, it's all skinny and slim and really thin. The skirt's really thin. So that jig's gonna fall faster. You put some more rubber in it, it acts like a parachute. So you can get away with a heavier jig that falls at the same rate. A lot of times the fish, you know, I throw a lot of 3/4 ounce and 5/8 ounce jigs. And sometimes it's the faster falling, especially once they're done spawning and they get over the post spawn. A lot of times in the summer, I don't think I use anything less than 5/8 ounce on a jig, especially when fishing cover that I'm throwing into. I don't use anything lighter. They want that thing moving fast. The thing of it is, you know, when you're pitching, you're actively pitching at certain targets. If there's a fish there, he doesn't want to just look at it falling down. You want that thing to fly past his face so it's a reaction strike. You know, you want it to hit the water quietly, but you want to go, so you can't get a good look at it. A lot of times it's lunge out and grab it. You know, especially, and then in the brush. The other thing is, when you are fishing brush, you have to use a heavy enough jig to fall through the brush. Again, it comes down to efficiency. You cannot throw a 3/8 ounce jig into heavy brush and expect to get it all the way to the bottom. It's just gonna get hung up, and then you think you're on the bottom, but you're not. You're better off to step up your jig size. Make sure that goes all the way to the bottom. Let's think of what motor bush is shaped like. They're real skinny at the bottom with a little thing, right? There's nothing down there, and there's this big thing at top. Well, a lot of times, since you have a big round thing on top, the most shade's gonna be at the bottom because they're underneath the big round thing that's shaded, right? So they're gonna be tucked down at the bottom. So if you flip into that middle of the bush and only getting that jig halfway down, you're not even getting all the way down to the fish. Yes, at certain times the fish will be in the middle of the bush, but a lot of times the biggest fish are at the very root line, at the bottom. So you got to get that jig all the way down to the bottom. You know, you don't want to sit there and have to shake your jig 100 million times in order to weave its way all the way through the brush. You want to use a heavy enough jig to get down there. So once again, you got to be efficient with it. Any questions?
What's the heaviest jig you fish?
I fish 3/4 of 1 ounce. You know, I think this is a 1 ounce. And sometimes I don't think you can use one too heavy. It's like you flip it out there, it's the water, you got it. So it's pretty crazy. You know, I've fished in California, and I was using 2 ounce sinkers. With this much water. You know, you're punching mats, you know, and the fish hit it before it hits the bottom. And it's only that deep. You know, you flip up there on the cover, shake it so that the 2 ounce sinker will weave its way through, and all of a sudden, as soon as it breaks through, that thing's flying towards the bottom, wham, on the thing. We got the same fish here. Do the same thing. You just got to throw it at them. You know, a lot of guys are scared to throw jigs this heavy. Everyone wants to stick with the 3 ounce jigs and 4 ounce jigs and 1/2 ounce jigs. I mean, it wasn't a few years ago in Washington, you couldn't find a taco store around here that had anything heavier than like 3/8 ounce. It would be like the heaviest jig you could find, just 3/8 ounce. Up until recently, people started finally carrying heavier jigs. That being said, my general rule of my 3 sizes, my 3 go-to sizes are 3/8. I use that for the spring when it's colder out. I use 1/2 ounce. That's just kind of like the all-terrain perfect size for me is 1/2 ounce. And then during the summertime and stuff, I use 5/8 or 3/4. Those are pretty interchangeable for me. 5/8 or 3/4. After they spawn, or right when the water warms up to about 60, 65. When they tail out and spawn, that's when I start using those heavier jigs. Some are gonna be done, some aren't. And that's how you get all those big post-spawn fish to bite too. They're heavy cover. And they're not positive, really. They're just sitting there sulking. So you throw that heavy jig in your flies past and they grab. So that's how I think about jig fishing, just the jig itself. There's also different trailers, like in the fall. I passed one brown jig around. You know, as you notice, this has a magnet jigger crawl. In the fall time, it seems like I even go like 3/4 ounce even more and put bigger and bigger trailers on my jigs. I'm talking like November, October, November time frame. I'll go up to this side of the beaver. I caught a lot of fish on this side of the beaver this last fall. I think it was November. I think I had one day where I caught 6 fish over 6 pounds, all on the big beaver. But guys don't throw that because they're scared of it. You know, they eat that. But I was catching fish this big one. You know, you throw it out there, you eat it. It's like, you know, there's this big craze for big swim baits right out there. These guys are throwing these 10-inch swim baits and they're catching these little fish on it. I think the new market's going to be bigger and bigger jigs. Because these fish don't see a size, they see it's edible already, you know. So I use that. The one trick to this really big beaver, I was fishing it on a lot of jigs. But the problem is the body's so big, what happens is you get bit on it and it rips off the jig. It rips really bad, so you end up going through a lot of them. So if I cast, that's what I'm casting and I throw that jig. There's one thing of kind of like a jig, not really a jig, so I didn't really bring a lot of examples of it, is a punch skirt. Do you guys use punch skirts at all? I know a lot of guys have switched over to punch skirts because they come for just about anything. Basically what you got is a sinker. On top is just your normal Texas rig, right? Just normal Texas rig. You got a bobber stop, sinker, skirt. There's your Texas rig underneath there, right? So basically, you go to the nastiest of the nasty, that lot of algae, a lot of messed up weeds and stuff. This is the only thing you can get through it. You know, like I said before, it's efficiency. If I had a choice, I'd throw a jig before I throw the punch skirt. The jig hooks the fish a lot better. But with this, if you're just going to be pitching the cover and stuff and you just want to fall through something, this is a lot better deal. The other thing is when I use this big beaver, I'm using I think this is a 10-aught. I'm using a 10-aught hook with that, so it's all the way to the back. And what that accomplishes is that I can get more fish out of that beaker. It's not up towards the head, so it's not going to get ripped in half or anything like that. And the only reason I'm using that big hook is so it's all the way back in the bait. And you know the thing of it is when you use these big baits, it's not like you have to wait on them. You don't have to wait on them at all. You fill them, don't, and they have them. You set the hook and catch it. It's not like you have to feed it to them. You know, like the fish that you want to catch, you don't have to feed the bait to it. The fish that you want to catch is going to go good dunk and swim off with it, and you can set the hook right away. That's the fish you want to catch. But like I said, I caught two pounders on it, you know, on a jig. So and I didn't wait to set the hook. I didn't set the hook. They're there. Prime example this year, I was out throwing an 8-inch Huddleston, right? That's pretty good bait, correct? I watched probably about 3-pounder. Swim up to my Huddleston, I'm swimming it, I see it coming. Just swimming it, I was like, that thing's not gonna hit. Suck the whole thing in sideways. And the whole thing, gone. Come up from the side and suck the whole thing in. Gone, hot fish. So if you're telling me that like a 2.5, 3-pound fish can tap with an 8-inch Huddleston, they have no problem sucking that in. That's like peanuts, you know? So, you know, you guys think that going big, you know, all these little lakes around here, I know a lot of you guys fish these little lakes. What happens, you know? This is another part, is that, okay, everyone's throwing, what, jigs about that size? Everyone's throwing, you think those fish get tired of seeing a jig that size? They're like, oh, I got that one before, I got a nice piercing out of that one, you know? So that's when we start switching it up. We start switching up to bigger. Because the one good thing about big stuff, it alerts the fish to the presence there, and they can see it from a long distance away, so they're automatically going to be looking, right? So now what you don't want is you don't want to throw a jig out there and be like, oh, I gotta do that and swim away. You want to feed on that curiosity. So either I go big, really big, and I fish like Ohop Lake and all the little lakes in East Village. That's where I grew up. I grew up off the 300 floors out there. Fish Ohop Lake, Powson Lake. I like throwing stuff this size because, you know, honestly, I go to those lakes to catch 5,